Hi everyone, welcome back to the EV Puzzle. Today I want to talk to you about a problem that I found with the Hyundai Kona Electric. Rather than me being all positive, I do want to talk about some problems. So this problem that I've found is to do with the charging of the car, and in particular is the amount of time the car estimates the charging is going to take. Normally it gets it correct and it's very good, but when you're plugging in to my Zappy charger at home, and I understand it might be because it's a variable rate charger, not specifically because it's a Zappy charger, the car incorrectly estimates the amount of time to charge. Now there is a workaround. By depressing a few features, which I'll show you in this video, you can work around and the car will correctly estimate the time. But as you'll see from this video, I think there's a software problem with the car, and the car should be capable of getting the charging time correct. And the impact of that, well, it's messing up charging scheduled times. So because it's trying to set a departure time and estimate when to charge the car based on your off-peak hours and the time you want to depart, if it can't get the amount of time that it's going to take to charge correct, then obviously it can't set the car charging at the right time either. So there's the problem, and this video will explain and show the problem. So let's get straight into it. Here's me demonstrating the problem that I found. I want to charge to 100%, and it says 2 hours 25 is what it's going to take. And we're ready to go. I've actually plugged in the charger already, but because it's a Zappy with a pin on it, I now need to enter the pin to enable it before we'll see what happens. So let's go and do that. As you can see, it says locked. So let's put the pin in. Charging. Let's see what we've got. So the car says it's, where are we? 80% at the moment. To get to 100% will be 9 hours 50 minutes. So a few minutes ago it said 2 hours and 20. Now it's estimating 9 hours and 40 based on something it's seen with the charger. And yet, as we can see, it knows it's drawing 6.9 kilowatts. So that's where I think the problem is to start with, that it's incorrectly estimating how long it's going to take to charge, because it should be 2¼ hours. Now the problem is I've tested this several times, waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and basically it doesn't adjust. As the charge is going into the car, the 9 hours 40 will come down, but it doesn't dramatically come down, which is the problem. So imagine the scenario where, well, the time right now is just before 9 o'clock in the morning. So this says it's going to take 9 hours 40 to charge. So 9 till 9, 1800, that's 6 o'clock at night. Let's say I want to set a departure time of 4 in the afternoon, and I only wanted it to charge for 2 hours in the off-peak times that I set. And I set off-peak times to be 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So basically I want the car to charge at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I set the departure time to 4 o'clock, but because the car thinks, oops, the sunlight's bad, because the car thinks that it's going to take 9 hours 40 to charge, and you set a departure time of 4 o'clock, it starts charging now, and that's the problem. It shouldn't. Now here's the fix. I can show you over here. So if we keep it on this display, how do we come out of this? Go back out. If we go into charge management and go into the charging current, and you've got 3 options here of maximum, reduced and minimum. If I set it to reduced and then back to maximum, let's see what happens over here. How long does it take? In my testing, it fixes it pretty quick. And there you go, the 2 hours 20. So the car's quite capable of getting it correct. But for some reason, when you first plug in, Maybe with a variable rate charger, maybe with the Zappi charger. I'm not to know whether it's charger specific or not, but the car should be capable of getting it correct, and it doesn't readjust afterwards. So to me, that's a fault with the car, because it is not recalculating the time to charge based on the amount of kilowatt charging power that's coming into the car. It's basing it on something that it detects at the very first moments. It does a handshake with the charger for some reason, and is not readjusting. Well, that's not how it's supposed to work, is it? It's supposed to be accurate, and it's supposed to adjust. So, and it's quite capable of doing it, as we've just seen. So let's have a bit of a play with the system here. So if we set a charge limit of 80% on AC, the car's already got over 80%, so it stopped charging. So that's great news. If I now increase it to 100%, and I'll put it across here so you can see what happens. Let's see the charge rates that it detects when it wants to actually charge the car. Okay, what do we have? 1.5, 1.6 kilowatts is what it initially recognises in the car, and it calculates, ooh, look at that, 8 hours 50 minutes. It's got it wrong. So why has it got it wrong when it just had it right? So let's go back into charge current. Which we know resets it. So I've just changed charge current again between reduced and maximum. And now it's got it correct. So let's go back and do that charge limit again really fast. So now we know it's correct. Let's change the AC limit to 80%. The charger's gone off. Back up to 100%. I can hear the charger coming on, and the time. What's it going to be? Is it wrong or right? Oh, it's correct now. So if you're quicker, then it works. So there you go. I think there's definitely a software bug in the scheduling time calculation for the Hyundai Kona. I think it's incorrectly calculating the remaining time, and that really does make a mess of scheduling the charge times. Okay, there you go. I think that adequately shows the problem that I've seen. The biggest area that it impacts you isn't that you can't get the car charged, because that works. It's the scheduled charging. Because it incorrectly estimates the amount of time left to charge, it really screws up on your ability to set the car to only charge at particular times of day for yourself. So for me with the Zappi, I'm probably going to have to use the Zappi timer and do it over there instead. But the car should get it right. I have submitted it to Hyundai. They've initially said they thought it was something to do with the battery management system. I'm not convinced with that. They've also said they can't replicate the problem, which I guess means that they haven't got a variable rate charger handy in the car park of where they've currently looked for the problem. So how far up the chain it's got and how deeply they're investigating, I don't know, and I haven't heard. But with all of the resources of Hyundai UK and Hyundai across the world, when they find they have a problem, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to get an accurate answer to describe what the problem is and get it fixed. Because as I've shown, it can be resolved. It is just software. The car is capable of getting the time right, so it ought to be doing it. So I don't mind that there is a problem. There are quite a few problems I've got to share with you actually. I have 5 or 6 problems with the car. Not things I don't like, actual problems. And I'll describe those in another video. But I don't mind that the car has issues. It's how Hyundai go about fixing them and how they treat you as a customer that's important. Because if they make the experience easy and they resolve the issues to your satisfaction, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Hyundai react and how many of the issues that I have, including this one, how many get resolved. Take care for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now, everyone.